You've been watching the wreath-laying ceremony at Arlington National Cemetery. We want to bring back in now Doug Weed, a presidential historian. Doug, tell us your thoughts as you watch this ceremony.
Well, Allison, I think of the Kennedy family and I think of their faith. Rose Kennedy, very devout, the president's mother. I think this current generation does not fully understand how deep the seam of anti-Catholic bigotry that existed in America for a long time. As late as the 1930s, there were 10 members elected to the U.S. House of Representatives from the Know Nothing Party, which was essentially part of its program, was anti-Catholic. So here are congressmen being elected. So along comes President John F. Kennedy, and a part of his legacy is he broke this barrier. Today, we have 6 members of the U.S. Supreme Court that are Catholic, and Catholics are very much accepted and very much a part of public life. So John Kennedy didn't just break the Catholic barrier, he crushed it.
It's a great point,
they were
Doug.
a family of faith.
It's a great point. It was only 50 years ago, too. Wow. When you think about the decision made on behalf of Jackie and the rest of the Kennedy family to pick this site, and you've been there many times throughout, you're being a student of the man and the family and the presidency, and to know that his brother, who was assassinated 5 years later, is buried next to him, Robert Kennedy. The significance of this location to you and to others is what?
Well, in the words of Secretary Stanton, he belongs to the ages. And in a sense, John Kennedy and Robert Kennedy belong to the nation. I think the Kennedys were very generous in acknowledging that, recognizing that. There was some controversy at the time about it, but you compare that to the Lincolns who took the body out of the Capitol, back to Springfield. The family gathered around. This is our dad. This is my husband. The Kennedys recognized that John Kennedy belonged to the nation. So I think it was very generous on their part.
We're watching President Obama greet the Kennedy family. We can see Kerry Kennedy there in the front taking some pictures. Ethel Kennedy, he walked in with there. Now she is in the front of the screen, obviously RFK's widow. So what do you think, Doug, is the most lasting legacy of President Kennedy?
Boy, I mentioned breaking the Catholic barrier. The Cuban Missile Crisis was very definitive. So much came from that. So many other decisions rippled through the world. It was a very critical moment in the Cold War, and from the development of weaponry, the impact on the economy. There was the period of the CIA gone wild. I don't know how else to describe it. The president was seen as having crossed the CIA in the Cuban Missile Crisis, in the Bay of Pigs invasion, and now he just couldn't say no to them. And there were these assassinations of heads of state, and which is part of the controversy today with the Warren Commission in trying to understand all these loose ends. So it's a mixed legacy, but it is an extremely significant, even legendary presidency. I noticed your correspondent at the White House called it iconic, and that's the best way to describe it.
Thank you, Doug. Terrific thoughts there. Doug Weed, presidential historian. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks.